Hey everybody, Dean Colavera, IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. Thanks to everybody tuning in to watch my videos, my job search videos. Um, Happy Canada Day to everybody celebrating, all my fellow Canadians. I hope you're enjoying the weekend, but I'm hoping you also take some time to really think about all, what a great country we live in, all the great opportunities available to all of us, to all the newcomers and people new to Canada. Welcome to Canada. I know it might be a bit of a struggle at the beginning, but keep persisting and keep going for all the opportunities in the available to all of us. And I haven't lived in other Canadian cities, obviously, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but I know Toronto, we have an abundance of opportunities, and I hope everybody is able to at least get the opportunity to go for those the opportunity to go for those opportunities, for lack of a better term. But hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Again, happy Canada Day. And what I wanted to discuss today is actually an article that I saw on LinkedIn, which made me want to do a video. So I'm going to read you the article. I don't 100% agree with the views of the original poster, but what I want to do is add some clarification regarding what they've written. So I'm just going to read you the post, and then I'm going to discuss my thoughts on the matter. So here's the post. Don't stalk or harass your recruiter or the company you're interviewing with. I know you're eager and I know you want or need an update, but you have to understand that recruiters can smell desperation a mile away and it's off-putting. Think of it this way. Job hunting is like dating. You're looking for a long-term commitment, but if you come on too strong, you're going to scare them off. You need to court them slowly, send love notes. In brackets, it says a follow-up email. But don't send one every day. Show them you're interested, obviously, but keep your options open. If you still hear nothing, assume you're going to get it. That you aren't going to get it, and look for something else. That attitude makes you look cool and wantable, and then it's a pleasant surprise when they do call you back and make an offer or ask for an interview. Your scent should say, I'm in demand, not I'm desperate, please take me. No one ever sold a cologne called Desperate. Okay, so that's the post. And by the way, this is no knock or bash on the original poster. A huge amount of respect for any of my counterparts or anyone else working in the HR or recruitment industry. And the great thing about LinkedIn is exactly this. We get to see and share so many different views, right? And then that allows me the opportunity to share my views. Then all of you watching, of course, benefit from seeing all these views. So you can make your own personal judgment as to what might work, what might not work. But the key is, implement, try out and implement these things that you read about, not just from myself, but even from other people. That's how you assess whose advice or whose tips and advice are more effective or more practical, right? So anyway, I'm gonna break this down. I'm warming up my hands. I'm really excited about I really love talking about this stuff, as you probably know. So okay, so the first paragraph: don't stalk or harass your recruiter or the company you're interviewing with. I know you're eager and I know you want or need an update, but you have to understand that recruiters can smell desperation a mile away and it's off-putting. Okay. So this part I somewhat agree with. So you definitely don't want to come across as desperate. That's not what you're aiming for. What you're aiming for is, well, first of all, now that being said, okay, so here's 2 points I just want to get into right away, okay? So you definitely don't want to get into appear to be in desperate or in desperation mode. But that being said, point number 2, you don't want to worry about coming across as desperate either. Because your main thing right now should be, do I have value to offer these people? They're looking for my skill set. They have a business problem that they need to solve. Am I the person to do it? Do I have the skill set? Do I have the value? Do I have an obligation to do everything possible to get into their company or their role or whatever it is, or get in front of them and show them how I can solve that problem? Okay, so this has to do more with conviction level. And I need you to be concerned more about your conviction level rather than whether or not you're coming across as desperate. So the focus on this is on the wrong, but I believe is on the wrong factor. Don't worry about looking desperate. What you need to worry about is your level of conviction. Because if you don't have that level of conviction, if you don't feel convinced that you're the number one girl or guy for the role, look, they're not gonna see that either. Then actually you might come across as desperate because you're not coming across as confident about your ability and your skill set and all of that. It says also in that same paragraph, don't stalk or harass your recruiter or the company you're interviewing with. So this might be, I mean, you had a kind of, it might be true, but I might get into this a little more, when I'm evaluating some of the other points here. But you have to have if you have creative variety in your follow-up, it does not come across as stalking or harassment. It's stalking or harassment if you're calling every single day and you're just like, hey, do you have an update? Okay, and then tomorrow again, hey, do you have an update? 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 It sounds like a new hip hop song or something. So that's not what you want to do. But if you add creative variety into your follow up, and it almost seems like subliminal, right? Because it doesn't even come across as follow up. Then it's just like your end. By the way, the whole one of the main important things you want to accomplish with follow up is you're trying to keep yourself on the minds of the people that you're following up with. That's like the most important thing aside from moving the process forward. Like you want to stay on their minds because they have so many other things going on probably at their end, whether in a professional sense as well as their personal lives. Like who knows what they're going through at home as well, or whatever is going on. And aside from that, I mean, right now we got the FIFA going on, so don't think you're not competing with FIFA as well, because people's attention is on FIFA as well. So what you want to do is stay on their minds. So with creative follow up, what I mean by that is you can follow up using articles and blogs and information and data and a whole bunch of other stuff. Your follow up doesn't have to be, hey, do you have an update for me? It could be, hey, whatever their name is, hey, Sarah, look, I really appreciate the time. I really appreciate having met you. I'm really excited about the opportunity. Really looking forward to moving the process further and seeing if I can meet with you guys again so we can discuss things a bit further. But look, I came across this article. It really it made me think about you. I think that it might be an article which would interest you because it relates to what you do. So here it is. Here's the link. Bam. That's it. That's a follow up. What could be another follow up? Hey, I came across this video, and this person's discussing HR policies and practices. What do you think about it? Boom. Another follow up. And so that would obviously be if your contact is an HR person. Another follow up could be I don't know. Hey, I saw this funny cat video, and I know you told me you have a cat. So I really thought that it would make you laugh. Boom, another follow up right there. But you hopefully you get the point, because so you're sending these videos and this information and this content. Don't be sending cat videos all the time. Try and make the information relevant and of value to the person. But it doesn't. I mean, putting a little funny videos here and there that won't hurt. People love laughing and smiling, right? At least most of us do. So that just keeps you on their minds, and you're in consistent communication with them. Now, if you do that over the course of 5 days, let's say over 5 days you do that, it's not much of an issue to ask them, here and there, hey, look, I'm really interested in the opportunity. I was wondering if you have any updates regarding, the process or what's going on at your end. Anything I can do to help? Do you need more information from my end? Anything I can do to help expedite the process? That kind of thing. Now, obviously, you want to be doing this follow-up with your top picks, because I know it can be time consuming. So pick out your top, 3 to 4 companies you're interviewing at and have this consistent follow-up, right? Especially after you've met with them and interviewed with them. Those ones you gotta kick it up a notch, and you gotta take it up a notch. The ones where you haven't received follow-up regarding scheduling interview and stuff, you probably don't want to do like everyday follow-up, maybe every other day or every 2 to 3 days. What I'm talking about here is after you've interviewed with them and you've met with them and you want to move the process further. So creative follow-up, that's not desperation, that's persistence, it's professional, and it's, again, creative. And it keeps you on those people's minds, right? Okay, next tip. Not next tip, but next part of this post. Think of it this way, job hunting is like dating. You're looking for long-term commitment, but if you come on too strong, you're going to scare them off. All right, so the traditional how job search is similar to dating observation, which actually is a pretty good analogy because it is true. And it's to say, yeah, I do somewhat agree with this statement. Like, you don't want to come on too strong and scare off the other person, and that's where creative follow up comes into play. Okay, if you're in the dating world, I don't know, there's someone you like, uh, it's the same thing. Like, if you call every day and say, hey, will you go out with me? Hey, would you go out with me? Hey, would you go out with me? Same thing. It's just stupid. It's not gonna. It might not be effective unless I don't know. Unless I can't think of something witty to say there. But basically, the same principle applies. Creative variety. Okay, so you might ask someone out today. They say no. I'm whatever it is. Maybe tomorrow you might send a funny video. Say, hey, look, I saw this video. It made me laugh. I thought you'd think it's funny as well. Boom. That's the second follow up. Day 2 follow up. Day 3 follow up. Hey, look, I saw this motivational quote. I just thought you might need it for the day ahead of you. Boom. That's day 3 follow up. Day 4 could be I don't know, something else. But you understand my point. And then the following week it might be, hey, look, what are you doing on Friday? There you go. So you only ask them twice, but in between you've been keeping in touch. You've been in communication with them. So the same thing goes back to creative follow-up, creative variety. You need to add variety in your follow-up so that it doesn't even feel like follow-up. And then so throughout the week you're in communication with these people. And if they don't respond, by the way, don't take it personally. They could just be busy with something else. What you need to do is, the bottom line, stay in communication with the person you're trying to, I guess in this analogy here, the person you're trying to ask out on a date, right? So that's what you need to do. And you will get a date or you'll get a job if you use it in the job search. But again, add variety. Add variety to your follow-up. All jokes aside, add variety. And especially in your job search, because I think a big concern from job seekers is, how do I follow up without coming across as pushy or like this person mentions, desperate. So add creative variety in your follow-up. And you have to make the judgment and prioritize which roles you want to put that effort into, because it can be time consuming. But then again, if it's the similar types of roles, similar types of individuals you're following up with, you can send the exact same blogs, articles, and videos. Okay, the next point here, you need to court them slowly. Send love notes, a follow-up email, but don't send one every day. Show them you're interested, obviously, but keep your options open. Yeah, so I guess I kind of covered this. It's okay to follow up every day if you have some creative variety. But you should set out a specific schedule as well. So, for example, if I'm following up as a recruiter, if I'm following up with a candidate, the first week I'm following up with them, I'm following up every single day. Because you got to strike when the iron's hot, right? If they're showing interest or whatever in a role that I'm presenting them with, first week guaranteed I'm following up every single day. After that, week 2, I might do it every other day. So I kind of lessen the follow-up, right? Because I already know that because of the first week, because I've been in touch with them every single day, I already know that they know who I am, that I'm on their minds, at least in the subconscious area of their mind. I know they're aware of me. They know I exist. They know who I am. So the next week 2, I might follow up every 2 to 3 days. After that, week 3 onwards, maybe once or twice a week. Week 4 onwards, once a week. So I lessen it up, right? But I'm still following up. So you gotta have that follow up schedule in place. What was it? I like what they said about keep your options open. Yeah. So while you're doing this follow up, you wanna keep applying for other roles and opportunities, right? You don't wanna just depend on this one opportunity or this one role or whatever it is. Keep applying for other roles. Remember what I told you. I did a previous video on this as well. You want to keep that pipeline full. So keep applying for other opportunities, other roles, other positions, other interviews. Okay. And and then the next point is if you still hear nothing, assume you aren't going to get it and look for something else. That attitude makes you cool and wantable, and then it's a pleasant surprise when they do call you back and make an offer or ask for an interview. All right, this part I don't really like this part only because I don't like I don't like being a spectator or someone waiting for things to happen. I believe in being proactive. I want you to be proactive as well as a job seeker. And like I don't like how they say assume. I hate the word assume because I hate assuming. They say if you still hear nothing, assume you aren't going to get it. I don't like assuming, and I don't want you to make assumptions either. So that's the whole point of following up. I want you to keep following up until you get a yes or a no or an explanation or whatever it is, so that you know. I don't want you to assume anything. Just because someone doesn't reply to you for a week, even if you're following up with them for a week, doesn't mean that they don't like you or they made a final decision. That's not the case. It could be something totally different. It could be that they're busy. Don't make assumptions, okay? So I don't agree with that piece of advice. Then the next sentence was that attitude makes you cool and wantable. Okay, please don't concern yourself with looking cool and wantable. That shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be, again, you have a valuable skill set to bring to the table. Is your skill set and the value you bring to the table what this company needs in solving their business problem? They have a business problem. If they have a business problem, if you have the value and the skill set to solve that business problem, you have an obligation to follow up with them and get in front of them or move the process forward so you can go about solving that problem and getting that handled. That should be your focus. Don't looking cool and wantable. Look, if you want to look cool and wantable, go in front of a mirror, put on a pair of sunglasses, take a selfie and put it on Instagram. That's cool. And if you want to look cool and wantable that bad, then that's what you need to do, okay? But in the job search, what I want you to focus on is your value, your skill set, and whether you can solve the problem that this company is looking to solve. That's what you need to concern yourself with. So forget about cool and wantable. And then they continue that attitude make you cool and wantable, and then it's a pleasant surprise when they do call you back and make an offer or ask for an interview. Look, I don't want surprises. I don't want to depend on someone else's, whatever it is, emotions or their gut or anything like that, and surprising me with a phone call. I don't want to depend on surprises. I don't want any of you to depend on surprises. I want you to have full control of as much control over the process as possible. And I advocate for that. Like even when you're speaking with a recruiter such as myself, like you need to take control over the phone. If you're calling me, then you have to take the initiative to control the conversation and take it where you want it to head. Don't depend on surprises. You're not a spectator. I don't want you to be a spectator. I want you to be a player on the field. And you need to be participating in the process. So I don't want you sitting around waiting for surprises. So don't do that. Your sense should say, I'm in demand, not I'm desperate, please take me. Yeah, I agree with that. You don't want to come across as desperate. You don't want to come across as begging and pleading for the job. But that being said, the only thing I would disagree with is the statement, I'm in demand. Like that should not be your focus. That comes across as that's gonna put you in a state of mind where I'm in demand. If I have the attitude that I'm in demand, I'm not gonna take the kind of actions that show interest and the belief that I'm what this company needs. If I have this attitude that I'm in demand, I'm probably gonna act like cocky and like I don't need to do anything. Like they're gonna come to me. So I don't want you to have that attitude. So that statement, your sense should say I'm in demand, not I'm desperate, please take me. I agree with the I'm not desperate, please take me part, but you shouldn't. Your sense shouldn't be I'm in demand. Your sense should be I have value. Your sense should be I have value, and and putting that mindset is gonna put you in a position to do all that follow up and that persistence in getting in front of the client or the company, because you have value. You have the value. You have the skill set. You have the ability to change things at their company, right? It's not a small thing. Like you might be solving like a huge problem at the company. And obviously they have a business problem. They have something they need solved at the company. They need someone with your skill set. You have that skill set. So your mind should be, I have value. Your mindset should be, I have value. So take that with you moving forward, right? In the follow-up. And then finally, the posters ended off with, no one ever sold a cologne called Desperate. As far as I know, I mean, this is not a cologne store. This is a job search, okay? And I know, and I understand that she's trying to, they're trying to, add some, I guess, wit into the article. Uh, I'm pretty sure there have been colognes called Desperate, but yeah, I do. I'm kidding around with you guys, but Desperate. Yeah, you don't want to come across as desperate. You want to come across as I have value. I have value. That's what your cologne should be. Your cologne or your perfume. So spray it on. I have values. Take two of them, and just spray yourself with it. I have value, and that's what you need to focus on in the job search. Wow, I've been going for 20 minutes. All right. So for those of you who are still with me, I just want to give an example from a recruiter perspective of persistence, right? Because everything, and I say this sometimes, but everything to me is sales. Everything is sales. No matter what job you have, what career you have, everything is sales to me. The principles of sales apply to life itself. So just an example I wanted to give you is, two examples. But I feel like if I talk for too long, I'm gonna lose all of you because the videos are kind of long. So maybe what I'll do is let me do another video. I know I've held all of you guys up for a bit here now, but I will do another video providing you with two examples as a recruiter of persistence, how to creatively follow up and persist and go for either a yes or a no, and it's gonna be. Both scenarios are going to be regarding myself in communication with two candidates, right? That I was presenting with opportunities, two entirely different opportunities. So anyway, that was my rant and my big breakdown of that post. So look, bottom line, what you need to focus on is you don't need to worry about don't worry about coming across as cool or wantable, or your focus should not be on whether or not you're looking desperate. Your focus should be on, do I add value? Do I have value? If you do have value, then your mind state should be I have value. And that's how you need to be progressing in your job search and approaching the company or the follow-up or whatever the case, or whatever your particular scenario is. And that's about it. Look, it was a great post for me to kind of cover. Hope that added some perspective to all of you. So I guess another big takeaway, and maybe I would just hit me. I should probably talk about it more. Is adding more creative variety in your follow up. So I will do more posts about that as well, because I think follow up is a huge thing. But you need to be a little creative with it. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching the video. I know I've gone on for a bit, around 20 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. And for those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Dean Kulawira, IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. We're an IT staffing agency based out of the Yonge and Sheppard area. So if you're here in Toronto, if you're an IT professional, if we do not know each other, let's change that. Send me an invite to connect. Add me on LinkedIn. Follow me. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. My username on Instagram and Twitter is DK Tech Recruiter. And YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this video, you should obviously be able to do that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out job search videos like all the time. And that's about it for my fellow Canadians, everybody here in Canada. Happy Canada Day. Hope you have a fantastic long weekend. And I will put out another video soon covering those two examples of persistence. And what you can do with that information is take it and see how you can apply it to your job search in a similar fashion, whether in terms of your mindset or actual persistence or follow-up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll let you all go. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.